Testing, testing, testing. Sorry, y'all. I had to start the whole freaking live over because, oh my gosh, I don't know if it was my device or just the app was acting stupid, but we did get it together here. For the record, the chat feature will show that it's not available for my lives moving forward. We made this announcement on last night as well with just another recent topic we just did. So yeah, that's the announcement. We have deactivated the chat feature. You can still leave comments once the videos are posted. You're welcome to always do that. But right here on the live chats, we're just gonna leave it open for live reactions, maybe a heart, a like, an angry face, a 100 sign, and that's just how we're gonna do it. I don't like how I set it to don't allow chat and it turned off every other feature because last night it just let me turn off the chat feature, but the other live features were still active. But for some reason today, when I turned off the live feature, it turned off every other feature with it. But I'll be right back, guys. The only thing that kind of sucks about it is, oh, hold on, y'all. Dang, because why is that still connected? Okay, guys, I'm actually back. The headset I was just using, it's nice. I'm telling you, the device has just been acting stupid today. Like, it still was connected to my other, like a whole nother device. So I'm hearing all the noise in the other device. When I'm over here trying to speak on my channel, it was the stupidest thing. And then, like I said, I was trying to turn the chat feature off and leave all the other reactions on the stream like I was able to do last night. But for some reason today, when I turned off the chat feature, you know what I'm saying, to the live, it made it like, well, if you don't want to use the chat, you ain't gonna use it. YouTube is funny. It made it like, well, if you're not gonna allow the chat, if you're not gonna allow chats, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, take every other feature that you can use when you live. So I'm just thankful for the little bit. Right now, it's letting me at least cover my stream topic again, so I'm okay with that. You guys probably won't get to leave a chat or leave a reaction because it's acting stupid about that today with my channel for some reason. But thank God you can still hit the like button or just tune in from time to time. And we do appreciate you guys' support. It's not about supporting me, guys. Who do you think you're supporting when we cover topics like this? I don't even mean to sound funny. Like, why would you think everything is about you anyway? When I live my life every day, I know goddamn well everything is not about me. People get offended when you cuss, but it's a very serious thing. Then that's what they consider selfish. Like, it's a real problem some people suffer from every day. You know the whole world ain't just about no one person. That don't even make sense. All we can do is gather together and fellowship. Fellowship doesn't always have to be a religious term. Fellowship is just a group of people that may have some similar interests. It's not like a cult. For you to sit there and fellowship with other people, and especially raising awareness about something, if that's the intent of the fellowship, that's crazy. So, anyways, I agreed. I was looking at an article this morning. I can't help it. I end up looking at the news. But it is this domestic violence advocacy group who firmly believe, like that's their whole mission statement. It includes something like this. It says justice and like help and assistance. They just firmly believe from the bottom of their hearts that it should meet people where they are. Not let me not just say people, let me clarify. It should meet victims where they are. And no, we're not just talking about physically. So I'm finna dive into that again in a minute. But they believe yeah, like that. Like, or at least that it should be more of a 50-50 thing, because we were talking about that just last night. How well, we went over the word self-will. When a lot of people thought self-will had absolutely nothing to do with domestic violence awareness, but it does. Because we all have a right to our own self-will and how we choose to use it every day. Long story short, I already covered that topic. If you missed it, you can go back and tune in. Actually, we want people to know this. You can go back and tune in to previously recorded lives anytime. Because why else do we put our time in it? It ain't just for the people that get to come across your stream that day. People live different, busy lives. What did I tell y'all? Life is not all about me or all about you or the next person. Everybody work all kind of different schedules, and the time zones different across the world. Trust me, you will make your TV understands how we talked about that last night too. Tasking and scheduling and planning, you know what I'm saying, and why that's important to people too, or how it helps people. This one lady thought cramming all her work, just cramming it, even during lunch hours, sitting there working. She thought she was gonna be ahead of everybody in production. But really, she just wore herself out, because you're trying to outwork. Oh, yeah, and working like that, like cram working like that, not really taking breaks and stuff like that. Yeah, you're gonna be tired. I mean, goals are cool, but what is that helping a job? Now you too tired to come tomorrow because you done trying to overwork everybody. And it was teaching us in this class I was taking the other day, like, that's not, just reminding everybody, that's just not the way. Some people, they probably can cram study and cram test and do stuff at the last minute, or they feel like, what was they saying, like multitasking is not the top way to, because you just gonna burn yourself out. You can multitask, but to do that all the way through any type of shift in work is crazy. That's a powerful person, because that person has to eventually get tired somewhere. You don't want to always do that. There's other way you can organize your task. Maybe put tasks that are similar, like the chores. You might as well do all them at the same time. You're gonna do the trash in the garage. You might as well clean the whole house. So, anyways, it was just showing us again new ways. Like, I might teach on different topics and stuff, but don't you know I like being taught to? Anyways, that's a forbidden truth everybody might not know about me. Like, I just always been a great student. I think people would say that. It probably sounds narcissist to say. I know people gonna say I was always coachable. When it came to like work or training or learning something in that way, yeah, especially at school and stuff. So of course you weren't probably the perfect student, but they can say I was one of the ones it really enjoy. I will move myself to the front of the classroom. Yeah, it didn't matter if we had assigned seats. If I can't hear the teacher or see the teacher, I'm finna move up here to the front of the classroom. I gotta get away from my friends for a second. I always truly was naturally like that. Like, cause uh-oh, is this person trying to learn something? Now she might have to switch her whole So, anyways, I was just saying, as much as we love to learn, we should also, or like, people shouldn't just want to be the all in all right one all the time. Like, I'm the teacher. I can't be, I don't know, because being teachable is just going to take you further. It's also going to make whoever extended a way of teaching you something very proud because they see how that extension of them, I guess, looks through you. And I'm talking about more than parents. There's more than parents that teach people across the globe. So what do you mean? Um, I know it's probably unspoken, but people that help to train and prepare and organize people, to do the jobs that they do every day, we want to give them reverence and shout out too. We're not here to pick on everybody that have leadership position. You can kind of sound like that because you talk about certain topics, right? But you kind of have to. Have you seen the news stories lately? One guy got shot over a burger. Or they be out in public at like fast food joints, actually fighting and brawling in public just because people want to prove a point. Like, hey, you don't, and it's not to down or knock anybody because I've had to raise my voice in public. That's still not going into violence though. Like, why is that the first thing on your mind to like, and it's been a lot of stories of people more quick-witted, maybe, what's that called, where you have a quick temper. People have that more, it seems like, these days. Not does that mean we're talking about everybody? Once again, no. The world is not just about any one person anyway. So we're saying on a, even in some countries, let me not speak on that right now because some people are already planning to go to protests and stuff. And I'm going to just pray and send positive thoughts and prayers for them out there too, because you don't want to see people just trying to stand up for what a protest. It can be peaceful. You don't want to hear it later it got riled up. So it was just an example of what I was talking about. Yes, outside of people doing protests, just in public places sometimes there's just seems to be more violent events. They're called mass violence events. That's why a lot of people don't like to go to them no more. Concerts, any of that, it ain't the same no more. You got a whole walk through the door wondering if you go. I'm serious. No, some people, that's why they stick to online shopping. It could seem like a very dull, boring way to live. Like, why you don't get out and mingle at the malls and stuff? I probably go to the mall. I go to the mall way, way less. I don't even think that has anything to do with my life because that's just a place I used to like to frequent, whether I was spending money or not. I'm telling you, the mall used to be very great vibes. Most malls you go to, it wasn't just a teen phase. Like, you might just, fall through regular shopping spots that you like. It could be for wardrobe or hair or beauty, or I just used to enjoy it. It's a difference saying somebody can't do it because it's places you can go on budget friendly. I don't care what it is you're trying to purchase. We were trying to, and let me say this, I'm not trying to do nothing. I might have delayed it, but at one point we were making it our mission at You Will Make It TV to share that information with people. That ain't even showing you how to get money. It's already immediately showing you that it's ways to save it. It's like they want to make that look criminal and crookish. No, it's not. I will never be ashamed of where I had to save money in life. I'm going to be excited, actually, because a lot of times you can find out you can save it, earn cash back, earn money back, use a coupon. I'm going to walk out the store feeling more fulfilled, or walk out the online store feeling more fulfilled because I was able to use some coupons, or they have these. People just don't look at it. It's an app called Groupon. That's one place people can start. But this stream is not about that today. At least You Will Make It TV. I am kind of walking what I just said. I feel like this should come to the people, not always the people. Oh, were you able to find the source, the resource? Why? Real source is gonna come to you sometimes too. Real love. It's gonna meet you halfway at least. That's why we were talking about self-will. Because how you don't want to do nothing, but you want everything to fall in your lap or whatever. It just helps us live a more clear direction in life when you kind of have more of an understand why you're making certain choices, why you choose not to do things. It does matter. Like I said with me, for an example. I use me for an example all the time. Ain't nobody gonna come to you. You will make your TV talking about I was talking about them when a lot of the examples, I literally drop gems of knowledge of whole examples from my life. I know my life is golden. That don't always mean you rolling in money. It's golden because you have golden life experiences that other people could look at just short term challenges, whole challenges or barriers that should have stopped you. No, now you coming back with gold? Let me tell you what I found out while I was Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall type of quotes. You know what I mean? And people might, that's their choice. If they want to tune in and listen, well, what happened, Arthur Tedder Cherry, while you were Humpty Dumpty sitting on the wall? Right, I might have a different story than what Humpty Dumpty did. But anyways, we all have these challenges in life. I was just saying that one is more prevalent when it's just in society, because in some countries their protests do get unruly. I'm not saying I personally fear protests. I'm saying it's just a personal choice. Then you got to deal with the other judgments of people that say if you don't ever go to one at all, you're not doing the footwork. It kind of matters with the topic I'm trying to bring out real quick this morning, because what is the footwork? Look, how the definition of footwork or work in general is different to everybody. If you know we live in a digital age, how you gonna tell somebody they're not doing the footwork if they literally they have something called digital footprints, but you're saying they're not doing the footwork, but they call it digital footprints. You hear me? So it, because some people very well do work. That's a part of their job, helping keep the company's website or the company's platform where the people come in and find assistance and do the application and stuff like that, because we're talking about these things meeting the people in the middle. Do you think it always has? I mean, I kind of want to know y'all opinions too. Now, even though I turned the chat off, people still will be able to leave comments in the comment section after the video is posted. I just wanted to make that, kind of announcement so people are aware. It ain't nothing wrong with your device if you can't leave a chat message. It's actually been turned off for now on purpose. But like I told y'all, I tried to leave the reactions on today though, and it was like treating me like that. Like it wasn't even given the option no more. As soon as I turned off don't allow chat, it tried to turn off all the other features. Like, we're not tripping though. It's about just being able to record the content, create the content for right now. People could say you just getting on your audio recording just like this because you have what you call narrators that do this. You have what you call reporters that do this. They might have to record a lot of what, their interviews and stuff. It's just, it's stupid that people wouldn't look at that as work. Well, to them, you just sitting there talking, okay? You're not on the phone. You're on a broadcast. That's crazy. And they'd be like, that's not work. So we're talking about footwork again, because people be having opinions about that. Some people do whole comment wars on social media about very, very strong topics across the globe. And what's beautiful about it is most comment section, there are people from all over the world. Like, you have to not accept everybody's opinion, but be open to them in a way that you know that everybody is coming with their opinion from a different place. Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people bump heads today. Like, it's like we understand self-will as a society. It looks like we do, because most people do want control of their own lives. I would say that's pretty normal. You don't want to feel like you have some sense of control over your own life. Who wouldn't want you to feel that? That's crazy. Because what is self-will? The things you can make a person look like, yeah, look what they're doing with their self-will. You got to go deeper. Is it their self-will? Is it their will? Right? It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And people think bending your will, playing with your will, tarnishing your will, like pretty much forcing a person. What was a quote we said the other day? You can, sharing is caring, but if you force the gift, it can be a little, it can be taken a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like people be like, sharing is caring. Okay, so sharing is caring. We get that part. And that's one of those quotes of the world that is actually supposed to help people. Sharing is caring, but that don't mean you should try to dictate what a person shares or force when and how they share. Let's keep going. And y'all wouldn't believe it, but like my 2 year old, she just very smart though. So I don't know. We already on it. Like yes, she'll tell me, "Mommy, sharing is caring," or we'll tell her, "Sharing is caring," because you gotta remind a baby sometimes. They don't want to share anything. Well, my baby, I don't know. Some things she just like, no, mine. Might get into that vibe. See, I use us for example a lot because we're human. Life can show us a lot just through our lives. But I was teaching her like, yeah, baby, sharing is caring, but you can't like force. You just gonna force shove a piece of cake down somebody's throat. Like, imagine what that might look like. Yeah, it's a whole gift. It's probably the best cake in the world too. But to just excuse the background noise, y'all. I'm trying to make me a cup of coffee real quick. Y'all might still hear the rasp in my voice. I ain't gonna lie. We were just talking about multitasking, right? This is you will make it TV. That's what make my channel what it is. Like I'm sitting here making coffee, a few pancakes, and doing a live stream at the same time. Cause people be like, why that person don't show their face or show their house all the time? I show myself when I do my inspirational quotes. You guys are welcome always to go over there and just check them out. Yeah, it might be different. So what? You know that's abuse too to want somebody to feel like they so different they don't fit in. Have we not heard the story of the ugly duckling? It's just crazy. The mom actually had to take some time. That duck wasn't even her favorite, but people took it as that. Like, well, some of the siblings, they like she always spending a lot of time with that one, and to them he already strange. You're the ugly duckling. Why is mom? We be catching mom over there, the mama duck, having secret conversations with this duck. See, a person that's, I don't know what to call it, but they might look at it like you spending more time or that's your favorite duck. No, she had to pour more into that duck actually because of how people was. He just naturally went through something because of how he looked. Why wouldn't a parent like take time to help their child to understand what they going through with something like that? You know what I mean? It's a beautiful story. Shout out to the author of The Ugly Duckling. I'm an aspiring children's book author myself. You wouldn't believe the delays. Like ever since I put it out there in the earth, in the universe, like, oh, I'm gonna do little children's stories. And my goal is for them to be lessons. So I call out like, let's just say intentions or goals you might have. Some of them you don't mind. Like people be focused on, no, don't say what you got or what you're doing. Somebody might copy it. Actually, depending on what it is, I don't mind. Anybody doing children's books that help children to learn, not just like educationally, but other things children might want to learn, like science book projects, recipe books, coloring books. Anybody who does that. You can never have too many authors in the world anyway. Scripts, scribes, scrolls. Text, what we call text, is like older than we think. It made me feel more human to know the people of history also recorded, periods of history. Whether it was with the feather and ink, how they was writing like that back then, or the typewriter. You know, press and media really have come a long way. I just say it got a little, I hate to say this, but yeah, press and media came a long way. We see that, but it has gotten a little messy. Like, just the type of news, like, it's just crazy. It's crazy, like, because I totally get reporting stories, but, like, is that even possible over years? Even the news seems more toxic. Like, in a way, it's been unfortunate stories too. Like a news reporter just standing there trying to tell the weather or something, trying to tell a news story, and they even have some kind of sick spell. People want you to believe that there's content creators who just can't thrive in the world of content creating. See, people be telling on themselves. They be telling on how they feel. We don't care about your comment or your opinion, but then suddenly a bunch of content creators are being attacked. Because that don't mean all content creators are doing the right thing. As you know, that's also a contract. They be trying to play with people. Don't you have to hold sign up for an account when you make an account? And we not worried about people ready to be in line talking about they made the account. That's all King Solomon used to do. Is like his counsel was actually sought out with issues like just like some of the stuff you see in the world today. I'm not even lying. Them issues that might be so demonic or so weird or so the line is drawn so down the middle they didn't know what to do about the situation in the village or the town back then, so they would take the matter to a higher I'm just speaking history though. I'm not trying to put any ideas in the air. They would eat at least, because not all of the people back then, just because King Solomon had a close relationship with God, that don't mean all of them, all the people of the land back then. What did we just talk about? Everybody different. And why it matters with self-will anyway. So, because that's kind of your whole choice to go seek somebody's counsel. That's your own self-will. So there might have been certain issues they would bring to him directly. Does that mean because somebody bring their issue your way? See, look how the devil will try to write your story. Like, this person have issues come their way all the time. They must be evil. When the whole time their purpose was probably to actually be that. A counsel that people could seek. Not a god, not a goddess. We know like King Solomon was just a king. If people referred to him as my lord or God, that's what they did. But who he was technically, he was another person just like them. He just had a higher seat of counsel. There's a scripture about that. Like I used to love to read the book of Proverbs because they say it's the book of, to be honest with people, they say like it's one of the books of wisdom. They probably say that about the book of Solomon too. Like there's just certain books that can kind of teach you direction in life when it comes to the hearts of people. We cannot lie about this. I cannot make this up. This text have existed for a long time, and there's other books that people might read that help them navigate the waves of life. The Bible is not the only book that people get advice from about how to like navigate and live their life is all I'm trying to say. Yeah, but the book of Proverbs, I brought it up because it talk a lot about counsel. I think most people just think counseling, when they think the word counseling, they think therapy or something. Because counseling, somebody counseling you can be a short-term thing or a long-term thing. Because what are you getting counsel about? Then you have seats of councils, where it's COUNCIL. You see how there's two different things? You have COUNCIL type of councils. Then you have CON, look, I can't spell suddenly. the other type of counsel, like a counselor. Then you have councils of people, like COUNCIL. Either way, the whole concept and in existence of counsel, or that the term can even be like really, really mean something if people use it properly. It's pretty powerful to think about. Back then, the people weren't actually ashamed to seek counsel. That one little change in society could be a whole reason that you see other changes today. Everybody wants to be that one, of course, that people seek for counsel. Maybe because of the accolades and awards that come with it. But once again, King Solomon didn't necessarily do it. It's just like who he was. Or let's talk about the other man of God in the Bible. Like, not saying men of God are the only ones that counsel can be sought from. I think some people look at it that way though. Like, no, if you're not following some man somewhere, they wouldn't care. It really is crazy. Like the generation of the way that people think today it's kind of off-putting, to be honest. They just feel like as long as you following a man, you're doing something right in the world. Because at least you're trying to be a woman and you're trying to have a man. And it's just weird. It seems like there are some people that think that way. They wouldn't care if the man is a pimp or family member. It doesn't matter, which some people do care. That's why we're here to talk about domestic violence awareness. Just you better off. Some people believe this. You're better off as long as you have the presence of a man, especially when you have children. Most people would agree, yeah, you're better off actually with some man in your life versus not having one. When you have a strong opinion about these kind of things in life anyway, you have to expect responses. I'm back, guys. I'm back. But yeah, like they used to just seek his counsel, and it's something like very, very, to me, powerful to think about. Like they would literally have that's a whole position or field of work some people used to work in. What am I talking about? Just being a source or form of counsel when people might have needed it. And how I feel like though those same resources may be available to people, that don't mean people always know about it. Because what's interesting too is the resources vary by state, they vary by community, they vary by certain territory. Y'all wouldn't believe this song that just came to me out of nowhere. It happens a lot though. I forgot who sang it, but it's called, oh, I think her name is Betty White. But the song says, no pain, no pain, no gain. No pain, no pain, no gain. I guess we all took the words of that song differently. Um, it means something different to different ones of us, but it's kind of true. You gotta put in the work. I was just saying, when people talk about footsteps these days, though, they be like, if you're not out there doing the footwork, you don't really care about a specific cause. You don't really care about what you say you be talking about. They be so ready to prove that. Because, like, why would you even be... It's weird. Why would you even be worried about it, number one? Number two, if you're going to talk about footprints, you have to understand, or not footprints, footwork. Because you could just say work, but when you talk about footwork, we all know what that means. That's like a different type of work. Like, you out there actually physically doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Out and about. I guess that's what they mean. Like, going out in the communities and public and doing the footwork. You know? I hope y'all get where I'm coming from. There's just some people in the world that will always believe if they don't see you out in public doing the actual footwork, in their opinion, what's the footwork? Like these protesting things. I still give my opinion for everybody to be careful out there. Everybody not gonna agree. Like, I'm not trying to sound like Martin Luther King or nobody when I say try to keep these efforts as peaceful as possible. I think people know there's a power in peace as well, because it's like you still actually contain your power at its fullest potential when you're at peace, and your peace can't just be easily disturbed. That don't mean that people are not going to try to test it. At a protest is the main area people will try it. But most protests, everybody there be there for, like, I ain't gonna say a similar cause, because they might be there for different things they've been through and different things they want to see change. I kind of suspected and expected that, like, that they're probably, it's like during the holidays, when have we ever seen this? Anytime is a good time, we need to stand up for something, but it's pretty serious when we're going into the whole holiday season here lately. And they're calling it a no king protest. And it's so crazy how I brought up King Solomon just a second ago. I only brought him up as a reminder because we were talking about services and resources and help coming to people too sometimes. No, we are not talking about 911. We know that's a part of what they do. They're good. You know what I'm saying? They respond to calls and they try to do the best they can with the resources they might have. What did I just say? That varies depending on what community. Like, let's say you the same person. It's the same situation all the way through. But you switching territories, you know what I'm saying? You move into a different geographical region could very well change your situation. Yeah, you're the same person. Yeah, your personal identification is still the same and stuff like that. But your whole situation could change a little bit too, because now you're somewhere different. Once again, resources, assistance that's available, people that may be able to help with counsel. Once again, COUNCIL, and then COUNSEL. N-S-E-L. Both are a form of counseling or counsels. And how King Solomon was known for this, like being sought out. People would travel across the world, no matter who try to like, I don't know what they trying to do, but it ain't too many that do that. And what's crazy, even these people, they can talk about them. They be like, these crusade preachers, they call them crusade preachers because they were actually known as well to travel. But the difference was King Solomon was the one sought. He didn't have to travel no more. They were traveling to him to get extra counsel. Okay, let's look at it. This is getting deep. This is getting deep. I knew I brought it up for a reason. Because these protests are called No King's Day. You know, people don't want to feel like they're under that type of rulership, apparently, in America. Maybe nobody looked at it like that, but they could feel like some of these movements and pulls and stuff, the changes that are happening in the country, they don't like it. That's not the only thing a king is known for. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, oh, it's just their power and influence. No, they might have other gifts or other parts or sides of them that people actually seek after. You can put that in the news if you want to and just try to make anybody look like that, but make sure you show us, you know what I'm saying, where's the positivity that came out of that person. You know what I'm saying? It's called a track record. Where is the positivity that came out of that person's counsel? Whatever it was, they might have been helping people. When those people would come to seek King Solomon's counsel and guidance and wisdom about situations in their own lives, remember how I said, so how was life all about King Solomon? Even during his reign, it wasn't just about him. People were going through different issues in their homes, in their towns, in the communities, pertaining to taxes or adoptions, whatever was going on. What are you trying to say? I'm finna get my point out. There were people, even if you're not talking about the Bible, we all know King Solomon was a very real king, so I think this is a very good reference. They're calling the protest for the weekend No King's Protest. I think this is like the second or third one they doing, y'all. I haven't been keeping up with it, but I know for sure they did at least one, probably earlier this year, across the country. They did, at least, they went out there and did that. But yeah, they would, and I was talking about how the scriptures, they talk about the significance of counsel as well. Like, blessed is the man that walketh not. What did it say? Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel. This literally what it say, y'all. Is that the book of Proverbs? Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel. Counsel of the ungodly, nor sitteth in the seat of the sinner. It say something like that. And it say, but his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in this law doeth he meditate both day and night. People think you just be saying words like, oh yeah, whatever, that's the Bible. Like, no, actually listen to the words of it. That's deep. Man, what if you were to test a word, to put a word or a law or a mandate to the test? The same thing would happen. Usually mandates and laws, when they're put to the test, you're forcing them to show you what happens when it is tested. In both a positive, it could be in a positive way or a negative way. But all kind of people would travel across the globe, like just to hear what King Solomon had to say. He never know what the next story was going to be either. He never know what the next dilemma or scenario somebody's going through. They would come to King Solomon like, hey, I got a friend that might be going through this. The whole time they didn't have a friend. It was them. It was them themselves. So yeah. It's like I can't get past this. We gotta understand this part first. People sought King Solomon's counsel. They came from all around the world trying to see what to do about their wives, their cattle, their land, the taxes in the land. They had all kind of different issues going on, just like we do today. I'm just trying to get people to see something. It doesn't mean that they were just overturning all power to King Solomon's hand just because he was the king. I mean, that part is true, but that's a personal choice. That's a self-will choice to go to somebody for their intellect, their wisdom, their counsel about what to do about something. They didn't have to ask him about certain things. Some of this stuff was just personal matters in their own personal lives that had nothing to do with the kingdom. They just really sought counsel from this man and others as well. They would call them maybe like high priests. Like, do you know how many seats of position really come with royalty? Like how many jobs, how many people they employ is what I'm trying to say. Like literally, it ain't just the kitchen staff. It ain't just the bodyguards and and horsemen. It ain't just security. I bet royalty do invest most of their money in security, or maybe that's just a natural part of their inheritance. It just, but I know they employ a lot of people, and it's interesting to know that on those payroll of employed people that usually work for royalty, it's interesting to know that sometimes they have councilmen. They have councilmen too that work with them. Like council is a whole part of history. If you don't know which direction to go about something, right? That's why would people just sit back and hope and I don't know how to explain it. Hope and meditate and even wish and imagine somebody just being lost in the world. I guess that's a personal choice too, though, because like I said, especially in modern day America, you can totally just go and seek counsel. So I believe people have been doing that though. Did I mention that? People have been seeking more counsel. It's noticeable. They might not have a King Solomon to go through, but what people are getting disappointed is I think they are seeking counsel. It's just the places that are used to looking. They might not be as inspirational, as hopeful, as whatever, the places they used to look for counsel. Think about it. If you used to turn on, like I said, me personally, I watch the news. That don't mean everybody be on it all the time. Like just have the news playing 24/7. I don't know, but you can seek counsel from all kinds of different sources. Is one thing. Cause see, counsel. I'm gonna start using this word more too, and I'm glad God dropped it in my spirit because counsel has absolutely nothing to do with money unless the counselor is charging you. They just happen to be that type of service. Like, yeah, I charge you to give you counsel. I don't even think King Solomon was doing that, but he's not wrong if he was. They said there was actual results proven on the other side of the stuff that King Solomon would tell people. They were able to settle whole disputes right there while they still in the presence of this man. They knew now they have some kind of clarity of how they're about to move forward. People only want to mention that part of King Solomon. Well, he had access to certain kind of knowledge. That's why he was able to give maybe, but you never know everybody life on the whole planet at the same time. I don't care who you are. Then you might be some form of God, because how could you know everybody's consciousness at once? Like I haven't met a person yet who know how to do that. You know what everybody feeling and going through at the same time. You might can feel it on another scale, but you're not gonna personally know what everybody is going through at the same time. Not even King Solomon knew that. So no matter how much knowledge you tell me he had access to, you still, that's like trying to take away from what I'm saying, what he was able to do. He never knew what the next story finna come to him about what somebody need counsel about. He just had a lot of knowledge. Maybe he could tell you all about how to handle your wife because he had 10,000 wives. What you mean? Well, people thought it was deeper than that, though. This was just a man that they would travel to seas to go get counsel from. And yes, a lot of people do believe he was black. It don't have to matter for the sake of this topic. But yeah, it wasn't more him coming to people. Let me counsel y'all, walking the town counseling people. The one you saw doing that was more like Christ or the disciples, or there are people like Paul. There were known preachers in the Bible who traveled to make sure that this help, this resource, this counsel, this assistance is meeting people right where they are. So I said that the advocacy group, I'm going to leave the name of them in the comments. The one, because you got all kind of different organizations and advocacy groups that, and then you can't even look just to them for counsel. Let's talk about that because they go through their things too. Let's talk about it. What you would consider help, while they talking about help should meet people where they are, where you do consider things as help, they go through their own things too. Like I just said, if you don't have people donating or becoming sponsors anymore, which that is what would happen if too much is going on. Like some people agree, oh no, don't do protests. The way to get the attention of the people is just like with this whole thing that just happened with Disney. When people actually start walking away with their money is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying I agree with that or not, but it don't be that people trying to be evil or funny, because you walking away with your money is not you stealing from somebody. Can I get an amen? That'll never be you stealing from somebody or hacking somebody or stealing from them in those kind of ways. You walking away using your self-will to use your money elsewhere. And people have already, started kind of incorporating this in their life in many different areas. Even if it's just downsizing, going from a bigger house to a smaller home just to save more money. You can probably still afford it, but why just buy things because you can afford it? At the end of the day, putting more thought into what we invest in financially out here. Because if you get people so used to just buying stuff because it's convenient, you would just have more you would have more control over those people because they feel like they need your retail. It's just crazy. So once again, I was only bringing up King Solomon for example because he's a good example if somebody needed to see it from a different perspective, or it's a good example of a time period that also proves that this is not new. It's not something foreign, that people go seek out counsels or they go seek out help or they go call. But depending on what it is that they are going through, you don't just call anybody, right? Especially if you're looking for whole HELP, whole assistance. Because I don't know, y'all can call me crazy or silly for a second, but I didn't know that FEMA employees weren't being paid as well. Like the government shutdown affects a lot of people. We can look at where it affects the common people and all of that, the taxpayers. But see, there were people with whole jobs. What did I just talk about with royalty as well? One royal is going to employ a royal that's always doing a public duty. They're going to employ a lot of people, just them trying to do their job. You see what I mean? King Solomon probably didn't need a council of chairmen just to counsel people, but I guarantee you he had them. It wasn't like he turned to them every second like people do their lawyer trying to see what they can find out for counsel. He was there. It was within him the whole time. That's why they came to him. Just because your chairman and counsel is sitting right there don't mean he wasn't the actual one giving the counsel. It came from his intellect, his intellectual place, his heart. And yeah, they said it was proven. Like, people walked away with they just walked away with more answers, way more clarification about what to do about their situations. We ain't just talking about, oh, people saw him for counsel and just to make King Solomon look good. It was actually proven that people got to the bottom of whole matters that they didn't know how they was going to get through before they came to King Solomon's chambers about their matters. See, it's pretty powerful. But I'm showing people it's a difference between you personally going to seek out help, because anybody would tell you to do that. When you feel like you need help, you just gonna sit there in a place of needing help, or you gonna try to help yourself. It's just, there's no other way to look at it. You that's what happens when you just get stuck in a certain mentality, or today we call it a certain energy. Like, you just gonna stay in stuck energy because somebody wants you to be there, because other than that, it's your self-will. Some people still believe in self-will. Like, why don't you have enough will? Which that could start to show you something about a person too. It's not always because they're lazy or they're not trying to do the footwork. Is their will being tampered with, or what is wrong with their own will? Why is it not stronger when it comes to what they own personal life want? Like, what they need. Get what you want, what you need. You should have a lot of self-will about that every day. What you need. I agree. You should have a lot of self-will, like to want to find some kind of help for yourself. I'm so sick of seeing people trying to make it look like they got to where they are today all by themselves. At some point, you had to go seek out help, unless you were just born into privilege, because with some people, that is their situation. Unless you were just born into privilege. Most people, you needed some type of help, you know what I'm saying, before you were just at the healthiest level you could be in your life. Whether that help was parenting, somebody teaching you how to cook, whatever help it was. Somebody teaching you how to iron your clothes, how to drive, how to get your driver's license. Nobody came out the womb just knowing how to do all this stuff on their own. You know, so why am I bringing this up? It's like a new trend of people just wanting to look like, you know, what I was just trying to describe, that it's like that seat of counsel. But that scripture says, blessed is the man. Let's talk about what the word blessed means. B-L-E-S-S-E-D. People feel like if they can't pinpoint your miracles and blessing, you are not allowed to be called blessed. If they cannot research and pinpoint how your miracles are coming into formation, when the Bible already said these first 3 words, these first 4 words in one scripture. Keep up with me. Blessed is the man. Maybe he talking about mankind. Like, for a long time when I used to read the Bible, every time I saw the word men or man, I did not know that that was also inclusive for women. But everybody don't look at the Bible the same. You could say man, blessed is the man, but the word of God was really talking about any man or woman. Is everybody blessed? Probably not. But it do tell you ways right there. Like, God never tried to hide miracles and blessings for people and just sprinkle them on others like they trying to make God look. Just because they sit in seats of incontentment themselves and insecurities. It sits here and tell you, like, even if you weren't blessed, born to be blessed in a privileged position, or you was just born blessed because you come from a lineage of blessed people. It do tell you ways you can also be blessed, literally. Like, it just, none of it is it's all about you. That's what's people problem. Because do they think, like, where do my heart desires come from? People don't like thinking that deep. They just know that's their desires and that's what they want. I used to be like that. You're not thinking no deeper of where that desire might have came from. Like, why is it even in your heart? No, because it takes, you want to talk about footwork? It takes some real footwork to travel the places of your own heart. Amen? But they want to see footwork out here when you go to protest, and they want to see, well, what are you trying to do about it? It's weird. Like, I don't care if you care how I do my footwork or not, but I can tell you not too many have took they feet to walk around the places of their heart to see why it is things like, why do I desire this? Because some of it I have looked at, even though some of my desires still exist. I've just looked at them, but that's more footwork than others have. We didn't say addictions. We didn't say needs. We didn't say wants. Desires is a whole nother thing. It's just like a deeper passion of a want. And you have to be careful with that, because God says, where people going to be mad that the whole time the word of God actually already had written the things that's happening today. They're going to be mad about that. Just because you didn't choose to read the Bible, or you don't choose to, just because you don't see people doing it today either, don't mean they ain't never read it before. That's crazy. Some people, they just study books. That's another thing. But it already has said ways. Like, you can't say that God is like ever tried to hide knowledge from people. If anything, he said, my people perish due to lack of knowledge. And his whole ways written. That's why some people, they just go read the book of Psalms, or I'm talking about Proverbs real quick, where it got all these different scriptures just so happen that start like this. Blessed is the man. Blessed is a person who do this. Blessed is a person who's like this. And God wasn't playing. He just made one statement and left it alone. And it said this right here. Blessed is the man that sitteth not in the counsel of the ungodly. Didn't I just spend a whole hour explaining what counsel is by using King Solomon as an example? And yes, Jesus was also another. I think we get so caught up talking about Jesus' identity that we don't talk about like life when it comes to Jesus, like things he was showing us. Like, he was more the type of counsel, walking, talking, breathing counsel, that he probably wasn't like King Solomon, where people traveled the world to see him. But I'm telling you, they were traveling to see him. If they heard that Jesus was in town, you think it was just because he was Jesus, or people automatically believed he was the Savior, the Messiah, and God? That's not why they was coming to see Jesus. The number one reason on the list that they was coming to see Jesus, when they heard Jesus was in town, like people do, some of these celebrities and just preachers or people that come into town. People will travel because getting there is the last part. You got to actually travel, don't you? So let's not leave that part out. People are traveling to hear your counsel. That's a little different than you saying it on a live stream. You talking on social media. You talking on the radio. You talking on TV. You talking on a music video. You talking in some music lyrics. It's people traveling to come see you, though. And then when they travel to come see you, what are they getting out of coming to see you? Because when they came to see King Solomon, it was for his counsel. COUNSEL. And his counsel, COU. I'm sorry, the other way, where it ends is CIL. But it's two different forms of counsel is what I'm trying to tell people. Probably more than two, but two I'm calling out right now. I'm talking about the kind of counsel where they know it would change their life if Jesus is able to tell them if they could get counsel from this specific person, or from one of the disciples, or from King Solomon. Literally, y'all, this been the type of stuff topics burning in my spirit, and it matters. Sorry y'all, I was pouring a pancake real quick. It matters because, like, maybe for a long time with society, they have tried to control, you already try to control that, like, who and where people get counseled. You can't get mad at any type of backfire that could possibly occur from that, because that's taken from people's self-will in a sneaky way. You're trying to deceive who and how they receive counsel, assistance, help, resources somewhere. When for many, many generations, people have been known, they had the freedom and right to do this as well. If they wanted to seek out a priest, if they wanted to seek out a therapist, a counsel, a higher seat of counsel about an issue, they were allowed to do that. And there was absolutely no biasness or nothing. I mean, you might not like what you heard when you arrive for the council, but people have always been known. Why was this okay in other cultures and other places? All these, even through biblical times, even in Egypt, there was a whole people on staff with higher seats of authority where they have a council. Like, for example, think about Lion King. It wasn't just the king walking around by himself. He had his seat of counsel who traveled with him everywhere he went, even if it was just Zazu, the bird. He sometimes confided in him when it came to major decisions that he knew he was finna make as a king, or it was his employed individual of counsel. No king was just sitting there like, oh, I'm telling everybody what to do. They usually have seats of counsel that they very well much trust. You notice, you see a lot of celebrities, you want their life, but what do their seats of counsel look like? COUNSEL or COUNCIL. What does that look like? Because if you can't trust your counsel and you counsel people, whether it's through rap, because we know to counsel somebody is some kind of form of communication. It's some kind of form of speaking somewhere involved. If you call yourself guiding and leading somebody to do something, or to help them to navigate, is what I meant, something, you might have a background seat of counsel. Now, I didn't say this is for everybody, but some of the greats, they've been known to have other people that help them through their decision-making processes too. I just think it's very interesting. It's not to be slept on, this knowledge. You think God just randomly told us about how King Solomon was out here? He was out here whole counseling people, like helping them with advice, with how to navigate their own lives. I don't think it's bad. I think you have a powerful gift if you can help people do that. You can just kind of see and feel into their life in a way where it's still their self-will choice. If they take your advice or counsel, you got too many people just want to look like that. Like, I gave this. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Because like I said, it is a fulfilling feeling as any kind of teacher when you see your student not only thrive, but maybe even go further than you, just based off of a seed of counsel you implanted in that person. It's too many people call themselves implanting seeds of counsel, then turn around and get mad. It's like, what? I know it don't make sense, but this do be happening out here, because why else do violence transpire? If you had something to do with planting a seed of counsel somewhere in somebody, a community, a group, and usually results are going to show, just like I said with King Solomon. This is what say this is how people judge if you're a good if you're a good counselor or not. There's always results on the other side. What do you mean? Or does that mean they try to make it like, no, the counselor can never be wrong? I wouldn't say the counselor can ever just be wrong, but maybe the counsel, depending on what counsel was given and how it was applied by the one who took the counseling, it's always going to show results. Like, whether what you told that person, whether that stuff was helping people or not. People so silly, they think that can be hidden when you're planting seeds of discord. Because if you're planting seeds of positive counsel, the results of that is going to show. Even in the workplace, if you apply a new method of training, a new method of how you do work meetings, whatever changes you make within a workplace, it's going to show whether that's a good change or not. You as the leader, you as the main counsel of that place, of those individuals, it's going to show whether that counsel was like positive or not. And if it's not, it's nothing to fear. You need to change the counsel. You know, when the devil, it's just funny that the devil thought he was going to bring resistance and delays and stuff like this to people's lives and not expect it back in some form. So what do I mean? You can be a whole villain out here all you want to. And let's say your specific method of being a villain, because that's the thing about villains, it's usually studied, like what they're doing to people. You're never just getting away with it. That's so stupid. Yeah, because like people want to protect themselves and they want to learn as much as much as they can. They want to get as much counsel as they can about how to stay out of the way of the villain, right? If you can kind of already know how the villain moves or the type of stuff the villain does, you're in a better position. So whether you get counsel to learn stuff like that or you just life experience teach you, I'm not here to judge it. But I am saying that when you have a mix-up and more people just want to appear to be the all-in-all counsel, the best counsel to come to, that's great too. You can prove that people come to you for counsel. It's still another level. What was I gonna say? Yeah, like them coming to you is still another level of making sure the counsel meets the people. When you're making sure that the council can actually meet the people too. Why do you think so many people did like resource? Even they like, y'all should have got these resources while they was here. People be saying that. Don't you know, even as long as resources been around, there's still been a small group of percentage that always exists that seem to never had got access to it because they never learned about it. You know what I mean? Like, let's not pretend that that's not real. If you don't know about something, that's why they have a quote. They say, oh, you know better, you do better. Or if you knew better, you do better. Because it's true. Once people, if they know more about how to navigate a situation or a crisis, what need do you have to move in big groups to help them to do it? You see what I'm saying? I can see how moving in big groups to help people navigate things might help them. I guess that's weird. Like, why would people need help doing that if you already had all this help out here available to people for them to know how to navigate crisis in their life? Here, baby, pancakes. Don't drop it. Here. Scoot over. Scoot over. Scoot over here. Good job. Here, and put your pancakes right here. Okay, like this my question. If resources been here, assistance been here, I found out it is some powerful, great. I'm gonna start calling some of them out because they deserve the accolades, just like organizations that have been out here with quote unquote counsel readily available. I think when some people call these hotlines and resource numbers, they're just looking for something tangible out of it. But how about the counsel of it all? Can the availability of the counsel? You got some countries, they don't have a hotline number if you're feeling suicidal. They don't have access to devices to actually access these hotline numbers, to even call them in some countries. I do agree with Trump on that. Like, I don't know how it happened, but some kind of way, people slowly came in here and whole abused resources and counsel that a lot of countries didn't even offer. for certain type of victims. Period. Because here, you have just donors and you have people that come together to actually form coalitions that help people. So I was just knowing that there was something different going on in the world. When you had people out here trying to demonize, it had to be somebody who felt like they didn't help them specifically when they needed it. Think about it. So they wanted to look all demonized to everybody else. No. Should never have just been about money and finances and power. When it started turning into that, that's weird. It's first the council that comes in it. Like, let's say you calling one number gave you access to 10 more numbers of resources. That might not be an actual tangible thing they put in your hand, but they gave you 10 other phone numbers that you could call if pertaining to whatever it was you needed counsel about. That's my point. That has nothing to do with money. That has nothing to do with finances or paying one's bills or or maybe that one, like a lot of places right now are doing a good job to make sure that these resources reach people. Let me tell you why. Right now, the government is shut down. Today's date marks 10/18/25. Okay? Regardless of what time zone you're in, this is what today's date is. In America, there's a government shutdown right now. There's people on certain government staffs not even getting paid because that's what happens when you have a government freeze. And I just always get a light in my eyes when I see that there's organizations out here who care enough to gather resources to still make sure people like Army soldiers do continue to get paid even through government shutdowns, because as we see, some of them are still out here working right here on the streets, what y'all call footwork. They're actually out here helping to police and keep things under control. People act like kids, like, why do we have all this patrol during a crisis? It makes sense, even before you announce a crisis, because some people just go into straight panic mode, like they showed us. They don't just seek counsel the way they used to anymore. People don't. They want to just they feel like they living more their self-will, actually making decisions on their own, becoming more self-sufficient, which I don't say there's anything wrong with that either. But you have to understand, when you're a whole united country, it's not just, that's why I say it humble people real quick and remind them, the world was never just about you. The whole country was never just about you, or one specific race, or one specific people, or one specific issue in the country. It's never been like that. Every time you fix one issue, as a matter of fact, something else pop up, like what do you call that? That one game where the heads pop up and you hit them with the sledgehammer. That's how it is when you're used to resolving issues, right? Somebody experienced with issues knows that you can get counsel and fix one area of your life, and that one area could have been affecting 10 other areas, so that's great. Now you got 10, 11 areas fixed, but that doesn't mean another issue. Sometimes shedding light on one area and fixes it. It's just a natural, I think, thing about life, but you can shine light on a whole nother area that needs to be fixed. Just like you fix a sink in a bathroom, for example. You fixing that one sink has now exposed that there was a leak in the toilet too. Like, that's just how it goes sometimes. You end up fixing one thing, and that's great. Now you have experience. You can say that you're known to fix it. You were able to show results, but now something else right behind it. So sometimes in job interviews, when they be like, name a time where you fixed the issue, I over answer the question, like, oh, not only have I helped resolve issues, other ones arise right after that. Then a supervisor be like, do tell, yeah. And it happens a lot. Just because you get through one thing. So if you base your happiness and your balance in life just only off the crises and issues that surround you every day, yeah, you could fall into a depressive state like that. Because that's like you're not choosing to have a consciousness that tells you, yes, life, the way life is, I'm going to experience things. I'm going to experience things that are unexpected. That part ain't going away. They say actually with more money, there's actually more problems. People with money, they were able to fix some things, but it was kind of like what I was describing. Other whole issues arise from you fixing one problem, which was your finances. Now you might, now you got more haters than ever. Now you got more bills than ever, and all of this just because your finances increase. Now you got suddenly all this debt appears. Remember, you owe us from '98. You owe us from 1985. You had this medical bill. Of course, all of that. Do people think about that? Rich people go through that. Or once your finances suddenly change out of nowhere, like I promise you, all the debt collectors have suddenly found you. They like, wait a minute, you not, you might be rich, but you're gonna share the wealth one way or another. We're gonna rate, hike, and jack the prices on this and that. We're gonna remind you of debt you had from years ago. That's how it be. Now, others complain that they're being done like that and their finances haven't changed at all. They just feel like people add an extra tax. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've gone through that. Whatever been going on in the country, like you got people sideline trying to tax you for everything. You might have woke up that morning and said, I need to make 3 purchases today, but by the end of the night you made 12. Plus every plus every purchase had a extra tax. We understand what tax is. I'm so glad in a way they changing that tax tariff stuff. Of course, every change, like every healing process might look a little gruesome through the process, but I can kind of see why they do that. Because you got people just out here throwing and adding extra tax and then pocket that money. I know they probably doing it. Like those independent contractor jobs. You know, when people noticed that they were being scammed and people charging them a leg and a toe just because they work for themselves. Some people talked people out of doing business with them on their own. It wasn't nothing nobody went and reported or anything like that. Their prices was outrageous. And anytime your prices get outrageous, you can't blame that on other people about why things are. Come on, man, people still see that. I don't care what kind of business or what it is. If the prices get outrageous, and you sit there and still try to blame it on other issues, that's just crazy. Like, oh, this is why people don't come to our store anymore. This and that happened. No, people don't come to your store anymore because your prices are outrageous. Walmart used to have a program called price comparison. If you could bring in a coupon showing that any item you bought in a store, to me that's what had ended up putting Walmart on top, because they had other stores trying to do it. Y'all remember that? And it wasn't illegal. It wasn't nobody, like, you only see that on the internet. Wasn't nobody in public saying, oh, they're copying Walmart. No, people just used this. Every store that started doing that, like Walmart, they didn't say nothing about it. The customers were too busy enjoying that stores were doing this price comparison and price competition. They were too busy actually taking advantage of it than to sit there and complain about how other companies were quote unquote copying Walmart's promotion. Their promotion that I'm referring to was called price comparison. Like I said, you could bring in a coupon from a whole nother store, right? You were trying to buy a bicycle and you show them, look, this same bicycle is $25 at Academy. So what, that's the name of it. It was called Price Match. I hope they bring that back soon, actually. Because, like, what better time in the economy to bring that back, right? Shout out to Walmart from You Will Make It TV this morning. Because we know they have helped people to put together parties and weddings. Like, do you know how much Walmart has helped contribute to people's lives? But with that price match, they had really changed the game with that. Or let's say you see a cell phone you like in the electronics section, you're able to prove to Walmart that that cell phone was a cheaper price at Target. So what they would do right there at the register, I actually worked for Walmart during one of the last times they were doing price match. So I know how it worked, or how it used to. They actually used to have to change it a lot because people always try to find a loophole to that's kind of what we talking about. They find a loophole to abuse these counsels. That's another form of counsel. You meeting with the cashier to show the cashier that you found this item or this product for a better price. They called it price match. See, if you try to go to Walmart now and do that, they probably gonna look at you crazy like, we don't do that anymore. Yeah, I remember they stopped it, but you can't complain. They might not do price match anymore, but they have, I mean, they'll drop your groceries out for you. They even will put them in a house for you now. Because people don't like their items being left at the door all the time. So they started in-home delivery. It's crazy. Like, it's even still celebrities, like people with a lot of money. I don't know why I've been seeing it. They still be they still be going to Walmart. They go live while they there. Walmart is just home to everybody. I don't care who you are. They've helped a lot of people take care of their families. Even if it was just a store run for a quick bottle, you're going to have a whole aisle of different options of brands of bottles to choose from, not just great value. I would probably make a great spokesperson for those guys because I just see how Walmart creates opportunities for people. They don't think just because you don't work there, you can't get opportunities in life doing business with Walmart. You might can get you a new credit card and start financing some items in the store and help your credit. You might can get you a new electronic that helps you for work or that helps you be a more productive entrepreneur. And they know me. They know me. I'm one of those customers, but I haven't invested in things like flat screen TVs probably and 10 feet speakers because they sell those too. But I'm more of, as far as buying work products, like stationary products for work or art projects, definitely food. Like some people just use the different sides of what Walmart does more in their lives. Especially if you have a car, they have a auto center now. Isn't it great? You can pick up a few groceries and a bottle of car oil all in the same trip. You can't do that everywhere, you know? So I just be happy for them and their success as well. I think it's just some stuff I got to go back and look over too. Because I think I was enrolled in like some benefits when I worked for them. I also had invested in some stock with those guys. Yeah, I just got some stuff to go look into. Like, they just a great company. If you ask me, who also creates opportunities for the people. They would be a good example of, like, they have good showmanship of actually trying to meet not just victims but customers in the middle. Like, hey, can't make it to our store? We'll deliver our store to you type of deal. We're talking about how Express is so readily available with stuff like this with retail, but how is it not when it comes to whole victims or whole victims of certain crises and circumstances? It also needs to be readily available, right? Because like even 911 will tell you with certain emergencies or non-emergencies, it is what it is. You can't just call them for everything. Is what I'm trying to tell people. You telling people, oh, call the police. You'll be shocked at the kind of stuff that's really, it wouldn't just be considered a non-emergency. That's one part of it. Some things, they not even the right department. Like just because, let's say you get fired injusticely. You get fired injusticely today. Like you feel like you want to file an appeal against, you know what I'm saying? You want to take some type of step to prove that you were fired injusticely, right? No, there's not some panic call button in people's homes that you push to report that you were fired injusticely. right? That doesn't mean you're not a victim. That doesn't mean it can't happen to anybody. But just imagine, I don't know, because God has showed me the hearts of people in a way where a lot of things that people will sit back and watch people go through, if it was their daughter, their kids, their grandkids, if it was just them in those shoes, why you think they be watching so hard? They know. They know. They know they would have took a whole nother path and course. You might have sought counsel through your situation. And that might even look like it takes longer. That might be a more long-term solution to a crisis or a situation when it comes to a victim. Other people, the reasons that these situations and circumstances become violent and dangerous for people is because they don't take the time. If you ask me, there was not enough time invested in people seeking counsel. Because when you're doing that, that's a time-consuming project. Seeking counsel? Because you can't, every seat of counsel is not going to be for everybody. But just to sit there and go through the process of seeking the proper counsel for your situation. Of course, if we were all handed a pamphlet, we're all handed a pamphlet of resources, of numbers to call specifically about what you're going through every time you go through something, right? You wouldn't have as much people struggling, clearly. So you can't pay me to believe that things are readily available, like resources and stuff. Counsel is just readily available for victims like it should be. What are some ways and tips of awareness you can encourage people to make sure they are? I saw one place, they were really creative. They had certain type of poster boards posted in a women's restroom, or they might have it posted in a restaurant or something. But like, you used to go places and see missing people, missing persons. Thank you. You used to go to a place, and it used to be like very common to go to a place, and actually milk cartons, I heard too. They used to have right there on milk cartons, they would have missing persons information. If you want to help to report, it would have a phone number where you can report if you think that you have found or seen or located a missing person. You know how they have storm chasers? They have people that put together whole teams just to go out and catch storms and stuff on camera. You know? And the only team that's supposed to exist for missing persons, though, are the authorities then. Like, why you can't put it together a team just because and do it as volunteer work? Because I guarantee you, if you show people that, look, I'm doing this as work, I might need help or donations, that's something they would contribute to. You out here using your free time just to help find missing person? And you not the police? That's the kind of missions people actually want to contribute to. Maybe even help join. Thank you guys for tuning in for sure. I said I was going to go in a few hours, so we got like 25 more minutes of content I can cover for a second, so I can make sure I'm fairly distributing. Yeah, y'all, because it could seem like all this chaos around you. I just want to give a testimony for a second. All this chaos around you. And it's just so funny. Like, I believe the Holy Spirit is very real. And why do I believe this? Because the way that the Bible described the Holy Spirit. When Jesus first talked to the disciples, and because they went back to try to find him, and everybody saw that his body was no longer in the tomb. I don't know why people don't believe this story. His body wasn't in the tomb, but he ends up revealing himself, like coming before those he loved and he knew loved him. And they was like, "Where you going?" He said, "I got to go back to my home now. I'm going to prepare a place." I'm just quoting what the Bible say now. "I'm going to prepare a place for y'all, for my people." They just looking at Jesus like, okay, because they didn't understand, like, why you can't just stay here with us like we were doing, and we continue our crusades and we continue to go counsel people. Because I'm trying to show people that it is powerful. Counsel, we can't sleep on it. Like, counsel, where people, the thing that people travel to actually, watch your head, Pooh. Here. People actually travel to learn about and get access to, or once again, like what this stream is about, are resources and options of counsel. I know they're available, but are people able to access them where it's like meeting the people too? It has to be balanced. It just has to be. Because you can have all the self-will you want, but if there's no... There's people out here that want to make self-will just look like it has no power at all. Ain't that crazy? Here, boo-boo.
My monster over there.
Because we got to talk about it. Self-will is just as powerful as... why do you think people play with people's self-will sometimes too? Because it's powerful. Because it can be done. But that means they see, even an abuser sees the power in self-will. Period. I'm still here, y'all. I'm still here. Once again, after I post the video, the audio, I should say, recording today, after I share it, you will be allowed to still leave comments in the comment section if that's something you want to do with your open opinions and reactions and stuff as well. This is a safe community to share our thoughts and feelings on real circumstances in the world today. And that's how we're trying to keep it at You Will Make It TV. Just on our streams, though, we went ahead and turned off the live chat feature. We can still go live. You guys can still hit the like button. You guys can still share the streams, even as we're actively. People already probably do that, but I'm just saying, these are the things that we know comes with streaming and stuff like this. You got people that have totally blown up from audio podcasts, radio stations, TV shows. I always said if I do a TV show, it would be something like, what's his name, Karumo. I wouldn't be like Dr. Phil, because you got to be a doctor. You got to be, have your credentials and stuff to even have certain, like, you notice Oprah, her show is just her name. It's just her name. Or like Wendy Williams, some of their talk shows, it's just their name. They get up there and talk to people. But what got me to talking about it, we were talking about the different forms of counsel. COUNSEL and COUNCIL. Both are different forms of counsel. But counsel is a whole powerful thing. Because even if it's the wrong counsel, like I said, it's the results that always show what type of counselor you were or are. We don't mean the results in your life, what you got out of counseling a person, whether you gave them good or bad counsel, but how the person who entered the counsel, how did their life turn out too, shows you a lot. Did they apply the counsel correctly? Did they try to put their own fun way to the counsel? Like, what is the situation? Did they use the counsel at all? Because one form of counsel would never just be a person's choice. Like, oh, I had to listen to this form of counsel when there's a million different forms of counsel. Maybe try out 10 different opinions. If it matters that much to you, why would you just give yourself the option to one? People must know this. That's a part of self-will too. You can say, nope, I'm gonna wait till I get 20 different opinions about the wedding dress that I should choose. I'm gonna wait and ask 20 different women what they think about this dress before I make my actual decision. We will never teach at You Will Make It TV that there is something wrong with counsel, like with getting somebody's opinion, getting somebody's intake, because the point of it is insight from the outside helps some people, right? You just don't want to let it build up and you're doing it in a way where now you're handicapped to this. Now you actually can't make a decision on the other side because you got 20 different opinions and now you don't know what to choose. Like, to me, that is not for everybody. You just might depend on it, or just because you have a codependency on knowing what everybody thinks you should do or what wedding dress you should choose. Now they're judging. They might say, girl, I think you should wear a short dress. Another girl might say you should pick another color. Another girl, but to you, because everybody's thinking process is different, right? Their thinking patterns, the way they perceive things. It's like people feel like they want a pot of gold or something if they figure out how your mind works. The mind, to me, is ever evolving. People's minds can have the capacity to do that. So ain't no telling what you would see. You know what I'm saying? Just study somebody's mind. Like, didn't we know that? Like, organs, they grow with us. They literally grow with us. Like muscles, organs, bones. The heart and brain, have we noticed? Like, they don't call them living organisms, but they have like whole functions of their own. They don't call them living organisms because they don't technically breathe. The brain doesn't technically breathe. It doesn't have a nose, but it does need oxygen, which you would have to breathe in just for the brain to have it. Like, I think about that kind of stuff when it comes to science, because I'm like, well, if we grow, like literally as human anatomy people, in science, we grow, everything expands, it grows. We're not even talking about advancing yet. Just growing. Advancing is pretty much the same thing as growing, but we know with advancement, that word is only usually brought up when it's more of a quicker process. Like, not only did it grow, it advanced at a faster rate, seemingly, and that can happen with people's brains to me. If you can grow every day and everything else about you grows, but it is a scary thought. Like, you and I don't consider the brain and the heart, for example, two whole organs that totally have functions of their own. We don't even consciously think about it. The heart just beats. The brain just calculates. Like, it just does what it does. Like, but it totally has its own functions. Like, they call the brain the nucleus of the body, pretty much. Like, the brain is like the main functioning. Some say the brain, some say the heart, because the brain is so powerful. You can be brain dead and like still alive. It's just a lot to it. Or you can be in a coma and still alive. You're literally still breathing. You're literally still here. Everything is functioning. You're just in a coma or brain induced somehow. Thank you, God, for all of our life, health, and strength today, to be amidst the land of the living today, because organ failure and stuff like that is very real. But let's look at the beauty of the organs when they're actually functioning the way that they're supposed to, and not trying to take science so far that you're trying to actually like stop that, or you don't like what you're seeing, so you're trying to change it. That's crazy. If other organs can expand like the muscle or grow, because our bodies grow with us, unless you have some kind of condition like Benjamin Button, which I'm not being funny. Some people have conditions where they look younger, way, way, way younger than they age. Some people think I have that. And some people look much older than their age. But I'm saying when it's at an advancing rate, they look older, like way, way younger. Like Benjamin Button, if y'all seen that movie, he just looked like an old man before the age of 1, and it never changed. Like it was a condition, like a skin condition. Like, I think it really had to do with his blood, but he just aged rapidly. And I think how the story goes, as he got older, I don't want to mess it up. I think as he got older, he started to look younger or something like that. I know it was a beautiful movie. He fell in love and some more stuff. Because it wasn't his fault how he was created. You could look way older than your age or way younger than your age. And some people just look their age. That's why people don't say nothing about it. When they tell you their age, they look their age, you're like, oh, fine. They don't say nothing else. If you don't look your age, yeah, I would say it's pretty normal. It's pretty normal for people to question it. But yeah, it's like this being the people being meant to. We don't ever want to just start calling it out as like, oh, they're being lazy, they're asking for help. People, that ain't your business. Where they build, where they ask for help, where I saw actually how that was. I'm gonna come back with a part 2 in a second, guys. In 1 second on the same topic.